Omaha. What's your gym name, Mark? Climate CrossFit. Cool, cool. Jeff from Minneapolis. What kind of gym is your gym? Is yours a CrossFit gym, like functional fitness, or what kind of fitness you guys do up there? CrossFit. You. All right. Listening, but working on a few other projects at the moment, so didn't turn my screen on to the empty chair. Oh. Thanks, Kylie. Kylie. Keitha found it. See CrossFit Icons, Atlanta, Georgia. Snellville specifically. Atlanta's a big city, man. That thing just keeps going. Been there a couple times. It's kind of like Phoenix, actually. Phoenix has got a huge spread, too. All right, guys, so let's jump into it real quick. Let's see. So if you guys just jumped in late, let's see how many we got now. We got 9. So a couple did jump in. We are entering in our gym name and where we're from. Let's also do this, guys. Go ahead and put in, just so I can kind of make sure I stay on topic with what you guys are looking for and provide as much information as possible that's useful for you guys. What I guess put in there like what your biggest holdback is like right now, like what your biggest issue is, like the number one thing holding back your business from where you're trying to go. So put that in there. Try to keep it short, concise, You can say more members, you can say more leads, if it's you holding yourself back, if you're doing all the admin, if you're doing all the janitorial duties, all the coaching, then, you can put yourself probably. Lead gen. Cool. Okay, we got 10 participants. So get in that chat, guys. Make sure you put coaches development for Kaylee. Cool. And Kaylee, is that just because are you driving traffic in already and the coaches just don't know how to handle that traffic, or what? Kifa, just use there should be privately. Oh, here we go. Okay. I turned the chat on for everybody. Okay, cool. So we should all be able to see everybody's responses now. Maybe not. I don't know. Cool. Most coaches are new. Just see on the team. You just see them. How to solve it. Okay, cool. All right, guys, we'll get into it real quick. Okay, cool. So sounds like says Kifa has a full-time job and does all the sales and the ads and appointments. You coach too, Kifa? There's Rochella. Hey, Rochella. So we're using the chat box. So use the chat box. Put your gym name in. Where you're from. I know where you're from, and not everybody else does. And then also put in there what your biggest holdback is right now. And cool. At least 3 classes a week. Okay, so Kifa's not overworking herself too much. Okay, cool. Looks like Sarah needs lead gen. Okay, cool, guys. So a lot of you guys obviously are looking for lead gen. That's what the meeting was about today anyways, is lead gen stuff. So that's primarily what we'll stick on. I know you guys got a couple other things that we maybe can get into. What I'm going to do, guys, is this first little bit, I'm going to kind of go on for a little bit and give you guys some stuff that I prepared and share my screen with you with some things that we've done that work really, really well for lead gen. And then after that, we'll do a Q&A about specific things. So if you guys have specific things about practical and tactical things, save that for the end. You can definitely use the chat box along the way, and I'll try to get those questions along the way if you want to put those in there. But try to save the longer form questions or things you want me to expand on to the end, just so we can get through this and not take 3 hours to do what we can do in 1 hour. So I first want to start by saying I'm super excited to be here with you guys today. A little bit story about me and why I'm doing this is, as my gym has begun to reach capacity over the last year or so, we're at 350, approaching 400 members. I began to think about how I can change more lives. And one of the initial thought that most of us have as gym owners, if we, cap out, then the logical thought would be to open more locations, right? And this is something we've thought about doing, but, you know, as you know, the gym owner journey is tough, and finding out what works for you is quite the journey. And now that we figured that out, I don't know that I necessarily want to go at another brick and mortar location again. You know, instead I figure the way that I can change more lives, because really what I want to do is change more lives. You know what I mean? Like, since figuring out this thing with our gym and how to generate leads and kind of drive dream members in and how to nurture them and keep them forever, like, I've seen people's lives change. And I've been through my own thick and thin, my own depression, my own things like that over the last few years along this journey. And I believe how I can change more lives rather than open up one more gym and have another 300 or 400 members. It's like, through you guys, I can help you grow your gyms and change more lives through that way. I mean, by that, I can change thousands, tens of thousands of lives rather than go and open up one more location here in Phoenix. I can, you know, through each of you guys, help you expand your reach, because I think each of you guys has the same thing in you that you want to help and change lives. That's why we do this, right? Like, you had an amazing experience somewhere along the line with fitness or CrossFit or functional fitness or whatever the thing is you're teaching, and that changed things for you. And you want to take that, because you know that you can give that same experience to other people that's got super, super high values. So the logical thought was to you guys was, it's like, I should open a business doing this, because who's not going to want to pay for this? But then, of course, we get into that and find out real quickly that it's not that easy, right? So each of you guys has this, you know, you guys represent a tribe and a community already. Some of you guys are early in the game, some of you guys are later in the game. And for me, like, I believe the only people who can really change the world for the better are gym owners. You know what I mean? I believe you guys, we come from a perspective of trying to improve people's health, wealth, and relationships, right? Like, the gyms can do all three of those things. We know that when we see someone stick to our gym, and we see someone stick to the plan and follow the steps we give them and show up, that we see their lives improve. We see them driving a new car in 6 months. We see them with, you know, they're out dating and meeting someone new, or maybe they met someone special. Maybe they met them at their gym. So we see the power that these gyms and these communities have. You know, it's just sometimes our passion runs out, or the money runs out before our passion does, or vice versa, you know? So, so with that, with every one of you guys, you know, there's a small tribe and an opportunity to grow and affect more lives and change the world. I know that if I can help you get your service out there to more people, then that's how the world is going to change. So today's training is how, on a couple things. So one of the main things is like how to instantly outspend your competitors and ethically steal all the prospects in your area. So that's a kind of a, you know, definitely a clickbaity type headline, but I'm going to get into it here, and you're going to find there's a little more to that. But it's story time. You know, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my gym. You know, we opened this gym in 2014. Initially, we had real fast growth and an initial rush when we opened up Spark in the location we did. But we had no real business strategies. Okay, and this is my second gym. I opened up a gym prior to this in 2011. And I'll kind of tell the backstory of that gym as we get into that too. So we ran Google ads. We ran Groupons, free trials, discounted low barrier offers. See, Mark is asking me if there's going to be any print form of what we're going over today. Yeah, I'm actually going to publish. I'll publish all my notes, guys, because I'm reading a lot of this from notes I made. I spent the last couple of days preparing this for you guys. Invested a lot of time, hours. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen through it. And I will give you guys my footnotes at the end, so you guys can kind of go through it and have it for yourselves. So I'll do that. So pretty much, you know, I ran all these things that gym owners do. You know, the Google ads, Facebook ads, Groupons, free trials, low barrier offers, all that stuff. And pretty much all the marketing mistakes gym owners make, like, you name it, we tried it and we failed at it, you know? And initially some of it worked, you know what I mean? Like, we hit at 150 members pretty fast in the first year, and we continued up over 200 for a short period of time. But outside of hiring a couple of college students who had their L1s to coach a handful of classes, I was coaching all the classes. So I was handling the consults, I was doing the front desk work, the admin and the sales, the janitorial duties, all of it. It was simply not a sustainable model. And it wasn't too long before I reached burnout. So, you know, that's I think a lot of gym owners face. You know what I mean? A lot of us are lone wolves, and we go out on our own to do this thing, and we often reach burnout, which is a loss of our passion before we make any money. Because if we could start making some money before our passion runs out, like, that'll carry us, right? We'll keep going. Like, cool, I'm making some money. This is awesome. And that's why a lot of gym owners, you know, are out looking for help. So by the end of 2015, guys, you know, in that burnout phase, we started hemorrhaging members. You know, I was overworked, I was underpaid, I was depressed. I literally started going through depression. I had to go talk to a doctor. I had to go see a therapist. You know, I had to be medicated for it. And because, you know, ultimately what had settled in for me is that I'd given up everything to do this. You know, even worse, I was failing at my passion. Something that had changed my life I thought would change others. I was failing at it. this way of running the business, I was realizing was not scalable and definitely not sustainable. So what had happened at that point is when I reached that bottom point was I went to sell the gym. I had a coach here who was interested in starting his own gym, but rather than start a new gym, he was smart. He'd rather take on a gym that already had a base, and he was lined up, and it was a fair offer for the full value of a yearly basic receivables, which is about $250,000. So that's actually a pretty good offer for a gym to get like a full year's revenue. Most gyms will sell for the sum of the parts. They'll get, hey, I spent 50 grand on the equipment. Give me 50 grand, you can have it. For us, we actually had built something. It was a decent payout, probably enough to quit and go do something else. But days after that meeting, I had a phone call from my friend Jason, and he's a gym owner up in Chicago. And at the time, he had previously shared with me his struggles. He had like 3 partners. It was a side business. He was trying to make it real and quit his main job. And he always made it sound like he was way worse off. Like he was always coming to me for advice on my gym because he looked at us and we were doing things, thought we were doing well. And he wanted me to kind of like invest in this course that he did. Like he had a course that he had invested in that had started showing him the light. And he said he'd made enough in a short period of time to buy out his partners. And that's and that things were starting to turn around really, really fast. So naturally my ears perked up. And what Jason told me was like his gym was on a trend to do $500,000 revenue in that calendar year, which was amazing. I mean, that blew my mind. I was like, holy cow, like we're struggling to make 250 and I can't break through the ceiling. And when he said that, like everything changed. That's when I knew what was possible. And before that, I didn't think there was a chance. Because when I met Jason, it was at like a business mastermind a couple years prior. And he's like a guy like me, but probably knew less about marketing. But when he said to me that he started to figure some of this out, I was like, man, this is possible. Before that, I didn't think it was possible. But because I saw Jason do it, and I now believed I could do it. And that changed everything for me. So that same year, I went to that another big mastermind in California, a kind of a business consulting gathering to get some more help. At that event, the presenter had gotten on stage and asked me. I asked the people in the room who had made over $1 million that business year in their gym or in their fitness business, and several of them stood up. And like, man, I like looked around. I was like, man, that guy next to me made over $1 million this last year doing this. And then all of a sudden, like it became even more real to me, and since then, my gym has averaged over $500,000 per year revenue. We're trending upwards towards probably $1 million run rate, within the next year or so. I think we'll hit that. So just if you're struggling, just know like that I've been sitting right where you guys are. I've been there. And it changed when I went all in. It was when I decided to go all in on strategies and systems and a way of doing things. That it changed. I didn't dip my toe. I didn't dabble. I didn't try to figure it all on my own. It's kind of like when I started CrossFit, I didn't try to teach myself. I trusted the coaches at my gym that I started at to guide me and keep me focused. And that's what set the tone for my experience with CrossFit and eventually owning a gym. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about the vehicle of how you guys do this, how you guys can grow your gym 2 to 3 times or 2 to 3x in the next 12 months. I'm going to tell you it does exist. No matter what the set of excuses you think you have are, because I thought I had them here too. I'm on a quiet street here in a nook of Phoenix where the demographics are kind of crappy. Where there's a strip club across the street and then an adult store on the other direction. And otherwise, it's a bunch of commercial businesses. We're not in a suburban area. So I had every excuse in the book to believe it wouldn't work. So the things that you need, the growth that you need to hire an awesome staff and change more lives exists. No matter where your gym is, it exists, okay? So now I'm going to prove it to you. And once I prove it to you and you know it exists, I want you guys to go all into, okay? Are you guys with me on that? Can you type that you're all in with me if I show you that it exists? Type that in the message box. Just put all in. Okay, Jeff's all in. Sarah's all in. Mark's all in. Kaylee's all in. More? Come on. Waiting on a couple of you guys. Okay, there we go. Ron's in. Adam's in. I got a thumbs up from Adam. Okay, cool. Keefa's in. Cool. All right, guys. So first thing I'm going to tell you guys, I think it was Tony Robbins. You guys know who Tony Robbins is. Well, most people do. It was him that said, if you want to take the island, you got to burn the boats. Okay, guys? So you got to go all in on whatever the strategy is. It's not dabbling and trying to figure out like your ManyChat bot. I can tell you guys that. And that's a piece of the puzzle, but it all has to work together. And I'm pretty much here to tell you guys, like, as gym owners, the life you want, the relationships you want, the family you want, all that's going to be fueled by the business you build. Okay, guys? So, like, this has to be a bigger overarching strategy. These strategies I'm going to share with you are the key. So, real quick here, guys. For those of you that don't know me, I'm going to read my notes. So a little bit more about me, guys. So, I have my gym. I'm an entrepreneur. I have some real estate investments, other projects I'm into, but my main obsession is helping you guys. Like I said, like nothing gets me more excited than that. You know, over the years of having success, I've had numerous gym owners reach out to me for advice. It wasn't until recently that I decided to venture into this world of kind of consulting for gyms, you know? And my goal is to get gym owners to understand that these strategies are the keys to growing all of our companies, okay? So what is the gym hacker strategy? It's what I call it, is the hashtag gym hacker strategy, okay, guys? So it's kind of like my little goofy name tag for it, you know? Essentially, you guys probably don't know about it because it's new and something we just thought about, but let me start with what you do know. Let's say that you do have a traditional website for your brick and mortar gym. Most of you guys probably do. You have a website, and for a long time, that's how people found you. What I like to call the website now is the anti-sales department. It's where sales go to die. The website is not the answer. Websites are kind of dying. This is kind of like handing out a brochure, and it's like giving the customer like a fire hose of information and unleashing it on their face. Okay, it's kind of like what a website is. It's like they go there. There's a navigation bar with 20 tabs. There's, you know, your WOD blog, your your About Us section, your coaches section. You got like tons of information. And like, it's a great place for people to find you organically, and you shouldn't get rid of it. If you have a website, people find it, like leave it there. It's great. It's a good place to nurture longer term prospects. Like if you want, you know, organic leads that have like been following you guys for a while and dabbling and, you know, are super bought in when they finally show up. A website's a great thing to have. And that's about all it's good for. Driving traffic to it is an awful idea because it's not designed to take your traffic, and it's not designed to take your traffic and convert it into people that actually want to show up and do something today. And that's the key, guys. So that's one thing you should definitely note is that there's a better way, and your website's not it. Okay, so spending the time on your website to make it look prettier, and you know, to make it look like, you know, a Fortune 500 company's website is great and all. And I did that for years and wasted tons of hours on it. And it wasn't until I figured out this other way, these strategies, that essentially things changed. And what I started finding out is they had nothing to do with how pretty my website was. In fact, some of the web pages we built since for landing pages are like some of the ugliest things you'd ever seen, and they work super, super effectively. It's insane. So your website is kind of like if you hired like a salesperson and all they did was hand out brochures. You'd probably fire them, right? If you're paying this guy to sell people on why they should join your gym, and all they were doing was handing out brochures and saying, please join our gym. You know, that's kind of like what your website is doing right now, and somehow we're okay with that. So for all of us gym owners who are spending our time and our own money out of our pockets to grow our gym, we have to be a lot smarter, okay? We need to build something where we know confidently that if we spend $1, we know we can get $2 or $3 back. Okay, like we need to know that. Okay, that's what this strategy is all about. That's what the hashtag Gym Hacker strategy is all about. And having these strategies in place, guys, is like hiring the best salesperson and coach for your gym and having them available 24/7. So it kind of makes it so like they grab every single person who finds your gym online and introduces themselves individually and finds out where they are on their journey, and then taking them to the exact place where they can take action and to grow and have success. And that does start at first with them becoming a lead, right? That's how you generate more leads, okay? So this used to be hard for a while. Nobody was doing it because it used to be too difficult, guys. It used to be like, it was also like gyms didn't need it for a while. You know, just a couple of years ago, there wasn't this huge group fitness boom. There wasn't a gym on every corner. You know, back when I started my first gym back in 2011, we used to run $200 a month in Google ads. And that was about all we spent. That's all we had to do. We just put the Google ads in there. We wanted to make sure that if someone typed in CrossFit near me, that they found us. That was it. And we grew to that first gym to about 250 members before I sold it on that strategy. That's all you had to do. That's all you had to do back then. Thing is, you can't do that now. Like, go ahead and put $200 this month into Google ads. It'll be gone in about 20 minutes, and you will have gotten like maybe one click. It doesn't work anymore. It's like lighting your money on fire. There's just too much noise in the space. There's too many people saying the same things. So you can't lead that way. That's the improper way to market. Same with Facebook ads. You can't just put $200 in and send them to your website and hope things happen. Like, it doesn't work. That's how people get jaded about Facebook ads and think they don't work. Okay. So it took me failing with that second gym, and almost the second gym, Spark, the one I have now, after I sold the first one. It took me failing with this gym and almost quitting and selling it before I realized things had to change if we not only wanted to survive, but also be successful. One of you guys has got your mics on. I can hear some background noise. One of you guys, whoever's got that mic on, if you guys could just click off on that, I appreciate it. Okay, cool. So essentially what I had to do to change this thing is I had to learn every piece.
Have a quarter pound of the whole milk.
I'm getting some noise from somebody here. I think it's Monroe. Hey, Monroe, go ahead and turn your mic off, man.
White American?
There you go. Thanks, brother. Okay, cool, cool. So I had to learn every piece of software out there. I had to learn landing pages and how to write landings, sales copy. So people wanted to actually take action and sign up for my gym. I had to automate text follow-up and write all those messages in a way that like made them want to keep coming back. If they didn't sign up right away, I had to learn how to write a proper email nurture sequence, one that like if they inquired on my site and they didn't show up for an appointment, that I would follow up and get them to come back. I had to learn how to use Facebook and social media bots and write all the sequences to make those work, how to properly run, test, and tweak ads so I wasn't wasting my ad dollars. I had to figure out what images worked the best. I had to make proper video that converted. I had to learn how to do a proper presentation so when people were sitting in front of me, it wasn't just, hey, here's the price. Do you want to sign up? It was actually a presentation that led them through at the end to pretty much overcome all objection and close at a much higher rate. So much work has gone into this, guys. Like so much work. And my goal is to make it so like you guys don't have to do that. Okay. That's my goal, is to make sure you guys don't have to do that. I don't want you guys tied down by like the technology. I don't want you to have to spend years or tons of cash like I did to figure out this magical combination. I've probably got over $100,000 invested in like coaching from some of like the best coaches in the world in regards to like the strategy and the combination of things that works. Okay. So today, guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share with you guys 3 different secrets of gym hacking. Okay. And again, that's what we call it, is gym hacking. And at the end, I'm going to give you guys a special offer to join my beta group for free. Okay. So I got a beta group that we're starting. We're not selling anything right now. Essentially, I'm looking for gyms that need what we're talking about here today, and more or less want to do like a 30-day intensive and get in there and put this all together and learn the strategies and kind of like more or less not get hung up on things, because you'll have someone who's done it to kind of show you along the way. But in order to hear about that and get an opportunity, you guys do need to stay to the end of this meeting, okay? So you have to stay to the end of this training. I'm thinking we're probably going to be done in about the 1 hour mark, so another half hour. And you're going to learn some awesome stuff along the way, okay? So it looks like Kaylee has to coach in a few minutes. Can I watch this recording this afternoon and get back with you? Yeah, I will post the recording. I will post the recording later, but I would like you guys to stay present, because I will and Kaylee, I understand you got a coach, so it is what it is. We'll talk later, but I do want the people that are committed to sitting through this thing, because that's going to be part of this this beta group, is making sure everybody's committed. So cool. All right, guys. So at the end, I'm going to also have that Q&A. So like I said, specific questions about specific tools, please hold on to them until the end, and get ready to make some notes. So grab your notepad if you don't have one. If you don't have one available, go ahead and grab one real quick. I'll give you guys a minute, and then I'm going to dive into this. Okay, guys. So I'm going to go over the secrets real quick. So here we go. Secret number one is whoever can spend the most to acquire customers wins. Okay, so write that down, guys. Whoever can spend the most to acquire a customer wins every time. There's no other way to get around that. Like a lot of people are starting to tell gym owners, like, oh, you can do it organically. That's the other thing, and you can. But you're not going to be able to scale. Okay, it's going to be a very slow process, and you're never going to outbeat your churn rate. So you got to be able to find a way to spend more than your competitors to win. Okay. Number 2, I'm going to show you guys how to get the best salesperson on the planet to go to work for you 24/7. And the best part is they will never complain. Okay. And then the last thing I'm going to show you is how to get the very best prospects out there to show up at your gym and become your dream members. Instead of them going to your competitor, they'll be coming to you, okay? So let's get into secret number 1, guys. So again, secret number 1 is whoever can spend the most to acquire customers wins. It was Dan Kennedy. If you guys haven't read Dan Kennedy's books, you guys should read Dan Kennedy's books. He's got a whole series called the No BS Guide to Marketing, and the No BS. He's got like No BS. He's got like 20 No BS guides. So they're No BS guides to running your small business, No BS guides to marketing. And a lot of it's more like meta stuff. It doesn't apply directly to gyms, but it is good reading and like learning overall strategies. It's really good stuff. So Dan Kennedy said this. He said, a business beats its competition by making the same prospect worth more to his business than that of his competition. So I'm going to jump into this, guys. So you guys understand. It's not about the one tool that you're going to all of a sudden going to change your business for 2 to 3 times. Okay, you're not going to all of a sudden learn many chat bots. Because that's a lot of the questions I've gotten, guys, when I've talked about this. People are like, oh, I see you have a mini chat bot. Can you teach me how to use that? And like, it's like they're thinking that that's going to be the gateway tool. And it's not. Like, that one tool is not going to change your business 2 to 3x. It's not about a 6-week challenge or some other offer. It's another thing right now is people think like 6-week challenges are right. So they run a 6-week challenge and they find out like, oh, it's not really fixing my problem. Okay, it's just maybe it's helping a little bit, but it's not really fixing the problem. It's really just an offer, just a tool. It's really about the overarching strategy and having a system where a combination of tools and strategies work together in perfect harmony. Okay, it's right now the Gym Hacker system, with the system we're using here at our gym, the system I'm teaching you guys, we're going to teach in the beta group. We're spending $26 to $40 per customer and getting $400 on the front end. So we'll spend 26 to 40 bucks by the time we get them signed up, and then about $400, $400 to $500, depending on what the exact offer is. Because we don't always run the same offer. Sometimes it's a 6-week challenge. Sometimes it's something else. Sometimes it's something else. We try different things. We rotate them over the year. Plus the average member, after we sign them up and get that, they stay on for about 15 months average at $155 a month. So that's our average member tenure. So that's another $2,325. So $2,325 in additional revenue from a customer acquisition cost of $26 to $40. I think that's near 100x on the low side, and probably something like, 75x times your investment on the high side. So some of you guys may have talked to agencies or companies that do lead traffic. Everybody's been reached out to on those guys. I think I get a message every day from an agency saying, "Hey, I see you own a gym," and they friend you and they send you a message saying, "Hey, I can drive you more lead traffic," right? It's a really common thing. They promise they're going to drive you leads. They say, "Here's some leads, have fun," right? They do that. You signed up. Some of you guys have probably already signed up with some of these guys where, they say for $500 a month, I'll drive you X number of leads. They get paid or they get a cut of that. And the problem you find out really quick is that A, they're not very good. You know what I mean? They're definitely not getting you, 75x your return on investment. The leads you're getting are very poor quality. They're very low volume. And the problem is you're driving it into a broken system. Leads aren't the answer. Okay. They're part of the solution. Once you have a system in place that can more or less do the work for you, then that's when you turn the faucet on. Okay. So, because you're always going to get a few, and probably enough to make it worth it with those systems, but you're going to have to do this perpetually. So you're going to be consistently investing money with these people. You're going to be dependent on them instead of owning your own systems. So whenever I tell people about this, they're like, "That's great, Will, but I know a better way and a fancier way." And they try to go out and do it on their own. And I always laugh at these people because there's a quote that I think of when it comes to people who go to try to do it on their own. Because I've done it. And the quote goes, "You can always tell who the pioneers are because they have the arrows in their back and they are the ones laying in the dirt face down." Okay. That's the truth. In this industry, you don't want to go out and try to create new things. You don't want to do it yourself. And that's the problem with a lot of gym owners is they're out there trying to reinvent the wheel on the fitness end. And that's great. You have to have your niche, but then they're also trying to apply that because they did it with fitness to their marketing. They think that they know better or that they can figure it out. And the biggest thing that kills gyms is the shiny object syndrome. Okay. They're trying to do the same thing, but better than their competitors. And that's the worst thing you can do. That's how you put yourself in a bloody red ocean is you try to do the same thing and you try to position yourself to be better than your competitors. And it may sound backwards because you think, well, shouldn't that be the message? Is that I'm in the best place? But the problem is everybody's saying that. So they spend too much. So what happens is the gym owners spend way too much time in the dirt. You guys spend way too much time getting your hands dirty and you run out of time or money or passion before you figure it out. Okay. And gym owners need to be spending more time in the clouds, focusing on the overarching strategies and executing on that vision. That's what you guys need to be doing. Okay. You guys need to be focusing on that, not spending time in the dirt trying to figure out the tactics. Okay. You guys are the leaders of the company. You shouldn't be doing $10 an hour work. You shouldn't be doing $20 an hour work. Okay, guys? So that's secret number one. Secret number two, guys, I'm going to show you guys how to get the best salesperson on the planet to go to work for you 24/7. And the best part is this person will never complain. Okay? So what I'd like you guys to do is in the comments here, I want you to tell me who you think the best salesperson in your business is or could be. Tell me, just put if it's you or if it's someone else, if you have someone else in the gym, or if you rely on your coaches to sell. Okay, cool. Rochelle, I am. Cool. Ron says me. Sarah says me, my husband. Mark says his members. That's a good answer, Mark. Some the members can be for sure. Rochelle wants $150 to $100 an hour. Okay, cool. So most of you guys are right. You guys are the best salespeople in your gym. Okay, so no one's going to ever be better than you. So that's something that like gym owners struggle with. They're like, when am I going to find someone better than me to do this and sell memberships so I don't have to talk to them? Because most gym owners are coaches and want to work with their members. They don't want to be like selling. Okay. So the problem is that no one's going to do a better job of you. No one's going to be more passionate. No one's going to convey that better than you. No one will ever be better at selling your gym's benefits and features than you. Okay. That being said, the Gym Hacker strategy is like a clone of that top salesperson, you, and letting them talk to and close members for you 24/7 while you sleep. Okay. So it does allow you to automate yourself and multiply yourself and do it while you're sleeping. Like you're literally going to have like lead scheduling appointments while you're sleeping, essentially. Okay. We struggled with this for years. And essentially it's kind of like, a lot of you guys talk about, some of you guys are talking about how to get the coaches involved in selling and how to get other people involved in selling. And I can tell you that it's going to always be a struggle because coaches aren't salespeople. It's a totally different, it's a left brain versus right brain thing. You might find a magical guy out there somewhere, but what's going to happen is if you find that magical person, they're going to want to make more money really quickly. So you need to have the possibility for them to send up, and that person can be like an operator in your business, and they can do both and manage your coaches and sell for you, but that person doesn't generally exist and walk in for a $12 an hour coaching job or a $20 an hour coaching job. Okay. So essentially you need to find a way to multiply yourself for the time being until you find that magical guy and give that guy the ability to rise up within your business. And that's kind of the issue we struggled with here at Spark for the longest time is, I was trying to bang my head against the wall, trying to get the coaches to help me sell. Like, hey, if someone comes in for a trial, go talk to them afterwards about a membership. And it was like, if I was here, I would close 9 out of 10 of them. But if they came in when the coach was there and I wasn't, it was like they would close 1 out of 10 of them. You know what I mean? Like, and I would ask them, hey, what happened? They'd be like, oh, I showed them the pricing and then they left. You know what I mean? Like there was no process there. Okay. So that's kind of the great thing about this strategy is it gets your coaches off the hook. Okay. And here's how it's done. Okay. We call it the who, what, why, and where. Sorry, the who, what, why, where, and how script. Okay, guys. This is something to note. And this is kind of how you write a great ad or landing page that does some of the work for you. It makes it a lot easier to kind of like not have to put so much of that weight on your coaches. So number 1 is the who, right? Okay. So who are you? And so start with, hey, this is Will here at Spark CrossFit. And number 2, what are you offering them? I'm here today to tell you about my amazing 6-week challenge. I'm here today to tell you about my amazing 1 month of classes, or I'm here to tell you about whatever, blah, 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 whatever the offer is. Okay. And then number 3, why do they need to do it? If and how I would answer that question is if you're looking to lose weight, gain muscle, and get super fit so you can feel amazing and be a superhero. And number 5, it kind of leads right into it, which is kind of a combination of the where and the how. Then you need to click the link above and fill out the little form on the next page and set a time to meet with me at my gym Spark, where we will call you back shortly to confirm. Okay, cool. So it's that easy, guys. It's just literally like leading with a clear, concise message in your marketing through all things, and then having everything that comes behind it support that who, what, where, when, and how in unison. Okay, so that's how you get people to click on your call to actions. How do you get people to become a lead? Okay. Now, as far as the sales end, there's systems that kind of fall in line with that behind that we teach with the strategy. After that, it's kind of all about the magic of the system that automates and turns them into buyers after that. They come in already preconditioned and pretty much they're asking to be sold. Most people when they come into your gym, if your website is done, not your website, but if the system that we build is done right, these people come in wanting you to ask them to buy, and you have to have a presentation or a premeditated way of asking them. You can't just be like, hey, you want to sign up? Because it's too direct. People don't like that. That's kind of confrontational, right? Like you have to go about it a certain way. That's something that we built out here is kind of a presentation, if you will. That's part of the whole strategy that takes them from where they left off on your landing page and from scheduling through to the end where they sign up 9 out of 10 times, no matter who's presenting it. Okay, guys? So that's the key. So let's get to number 3, guys. So now let's get to secret number 3. How to get the very best prospects out there to show up at your gym and become dream members. They won't be that way. They're not going to your competitors. They'll be coming to you. The key here is having a trackable system where you know every step of the way what's working and when something is not working. For every gym, that's going to be slightly different. For some gyms, it could be the landing page. You could put a landing page up and it's just not converting. Okay, but you need to know that for a fact if that's what's working on. On a website, your current website, you don't have that. You can't tell where they got dropped on the website. You can tell, hey, did they click to this page and then after that they disappeared? You can't see that. So it is having, a landing page set up to where you can track that, okay, and know where they dropped off in the steps, okay, and it's having in that landing page specific actions and only one action. It's not having like a navigation bar with 10 different places they can go where they can get confused and get too much information. It's you want this, and this. Click here. Next page. Okay, cool. And there's further filtering them out. Okay, saying okay. Now, if you clicked here, you probably want this, and this, right? Yeah, cool. All right, click here. Next page, schedule your appointment. We're excited to meet you here, and here. And then getting a set of emails, texts, and Facebook bot and messenger bot follow-ups that get them ready for their appointment. So when they come in, most of their objections are overcome, and they're ready to sign up. They're going to be like, you're going to sit down with them, go over their goals, and they're going to be like, yeah, here's my money. You know what I mean? And the cool thing about that is it raises value. Okay, so the amount you put in, or at least it makes it look like you put in, is what you get back. So if all you're doing is putting your website out there and saying, come check out my gym, click the Get Started button that every CrossFit gym website has, and they show up, and then you say, hey, want to buy? Like, that's a very low value proposition. Okay, that's commoditized. It looks like everybody else. It looks like what everybody else is doing. Okay, guys? So we have to speak to them individually, and there's a way to do that. Okay, it could also be your chatbot. It could be your text messages. It could be the ads. It could be any one of these things. And now if you're just throwing darts at the wall and only focus on the lead traffic, you'll never know. You won't know what to scale and where to put more money and what to turn off and what to turn on and what to change. Okay, you need a system and strategy that gives you the information clearly so you know what's working and how to scale it. So, and also so you know what's not working, and having the coaching and strategies available to you to test something different. Okay, so it's identifying, okay, cool, I've identified that this ad isn't working. You know, hey Will, what can we do here? Can we try something different? You have some options or some strategies that you've used when that ad didn't work. And it is like, yeah, hey, try this one real quick. This one's worked when this one hasn't, you know? So it saves you a lot of time rather than like, because the only way on Facebook ads, for example, to know if something works is you have to test it with money. So you could easily spend $1,000 testing an ad and get no results. And you can, you know, if you had someone else that's done it before, you could easily plug in another ad and say, okay, cool. So it saves you a lot of money and time, okay? Which gym owners don't have a ton of to begin with, okay? So so now you know what you don't need to go out. So now that you don't need to go out and reinvent it. It already exists, and if you implement it, it will work for you too. And I know what you're saying. I know the excuses. I know the excuses that gym owners use. I've used them myself. I've tried Facebook ads. I've tried Google ads. Oh, it's my location. You know, I'm not sure we're in an area where the demographics suck. I have broke people on every corner. I can't sell to broke people. Whatever excuse you have, you know. But let's say you do it anyways, and you only do half of what this thing is supposed to do. You know, you're probably still looking at like 5 to 1 on your dollar. And I'm going to show you guys when we finish here. I'm going to go over like the results of some recent campaigns to show you. You know, on average with what we run in this strategy, we're looking at like 7 to 12 to 1 for every dollar of ad spend. So if I spend $1 on ads, I'm usually getting $7 to $12 back. And this is literally with having the same set of excuses a couple years ago. Okay, so let's say you do half of what I do, you're probably still going to get 5 to 1 on your dollar. So I mean, what would you guys do with that money? Real quick, like in the comments, like what would you guys do if like in the next year, you know, you had I don't know, an extra $100,000 revenue to spend at your gym? What would you spend that on? Go ahead and put that in the chat box. Ron says savings. Mark says I'd relax. Okay, cool. Jeff says hiring my other coach full time. Adam says growth. How would you grow, Adam? Would that mean like hiring people? I want you to be a little more specific. So Adam says growth. I want you to, you know, is it hiring people so you can get some freedom? Is it, you know, Adam says more advertising. Okay, so you would reinvest the money. Okay, good. Kifa says, so I can do more. Rochelle says, pay my husband back for silently contributing to the gym. Kifa says, I lead my 8 to 5. That's the goal. Adam doesn't coach right now, but so he would do more advertising. So for Adam, maybe for you, it'd be reinvesting and continuing to get that return, that compound return. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like that too. You guys definitely should. I mean, if you unleash this thing and it starts to roll in cash, you know what I mean? Like, what I do still to this day after a couple of years is I pay myself a flat salary. I pay myself a flat salary every 2 weeks. It's $3,750, exactly that. And the gym can afford to pay me more, but I just take exactly that money. And whether we do better or worse, if more money comes in, I reinvest it into the gym. We expand the gym. We buy equipment. We hire more coaches. We open up new programs. And that's what we've done. That's allowed our gym to grow is we now have 62-hour coached hours of classes. I coach 1 on Friday nights. And, you know, our revenues being where they're at, we can afford to invest in equipment. Like we just upfitted an entire room in the back for a program called Build, which is like a functional bodybuilding program. And it's on fire. People love it. You know what I mean? And then we also have HIIT classes, all this stuff. So it goes around. So that's more or less like, you know, what you guys would get out of this thing is you'd be able to reinvest in all these things. You know, Sarah wants to take a vacation. Kifa wants to quit her 8 to 5. Rochelle, you can pay your husband back and kind of, you know, take care of that so you can feel good about it. You know, that's a huge part of this, guys. So, and that's what the Gym Hacker beta group is going to be all about, guys. And I am going to include a link here when we commence. I'm going to give you guys, let's see, actually, I wonder if I can send everyone the link for the beta group. I think some of you guys may have already applied to it. After this week, I'm actually going to go through and look at the applications and reach out to a bunch of you guys. Let me put the link here in the chat box for you so you guys can go apply if you have not already. And again, this beta group is actually completely free, guys. Kind of what I'm doing with it and why I'm running it free is because the Big Little Gyms company is fairly young. And I know everything I'm saying is to be true, but I have to prove that. So my goal is to find a few gyms to prove that through, the ones that need it the most, and are ready to do the work. And that's the biggest thing, guys. I'm going to tell you right up front, it's going to be work. You know, you're going to spend this next 30 days when we start it doing an intensive build out of all these strategies and not just like implementing the tactical and practical stuff, but also learning. You're going to literally have a mind shift of the way you run your business. And you're going to look back after the month and be like, man, what was I doing before? It's going to change everything. So let me get you guys this link real quick for the beta group. And then what I'll do is open up some time for some Q&A for you guys, probably about 15 minutes of Q&A, kind of answer questions for you guys, all that good stuff. Okay, it looks like Keith already applied. Rochelle says, my husband doesn't believe it. Okay, Adam says, I think I already did. Okay, I know a few of you guys already applied, but I know a couple of you guys haven't. So here's the link right here. Oh, that's for Rochelle. I meant to do it for everyone. Let me see, everyone. Okay, here we go. Sorry, Rochelle, I sent it to you directly, but here, I'm going to make it so you guys can all see it. Okay, cool. There you go. So you guys should have it there. Apply to that, guys. I'm really eager to work with you guys. Adam says we're in the beginning stages of planning the build out. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, so I'm excited to work with some of you guys. So make sure you apply there, because what we're going to do is pretty much go through it. I already have the and I'll share it with you guys. I pretty much already have the what's the word I'm looking for? The track built out, what we're going to be doing each day. I just shared it with you, Mark. You should have it there in the chat box. Here, I'll send it to you directly. But we're going to be building out a small part of this each day. And then also, like I said, learning the strategy overarching, because really that's what you're going to be focusing on eventually. Eventually, you're going to have someone doing admin if you don't already. Eventually, you're going to have coaches coaching all your classes. Eventually, you're going to have some freedom, and you're going to be focusing on the big picture. And where I find myself these days with my gym is, really coaching my coaches to do a better job and having influence on my member base. Like, I literally spend most of my time talking about mindset stuff with my members and changing their mindset. And that's why I've gotten more and more into changing people's lives and, trying to change the world through that, which is all what we should be doing as gym owners. It's like passing on our passion and changing their lives through what we know to be true. And that's that this work that we put in the gym, it's kind of like how we do one thing is how we do everything. So that's where it starts, guys. So let's do some Q&A. So let's have some of you guys go ahead and type some questions into the chat box, and we'll do a little bit of Q&A. Anything you guys have about specific things, anything like that, anything I talked about, let's address that. I'll give you guys a few minutes. Go ahead and type in there, and I'll attack them one by one. If you guys want to turn your mics on and talk, you can do that too.
Hey, Will, can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up? Is this Adam?
Yeah, this is Adam. What's going on?
Hey, what's up,
Adam? Man, good stuff. So basically, here's what happened. We hit 280. We swung down to 250. I stopped coaching.
Sure.
Since I've stopped coaching, we've slowly, and again, I'm in South Florida, so this place is overpopulated to hell. There's a gym on every corner.
Yeah.
The only benefit is Palm Beach County just hit live. I think it was the end of 2017. You can't open a gym in a warehouse, so they're all going to retail. So the ones that fade out, so we're not seeing too many more. But what's happened is we've slowly worked and had some personal stuff to deal with, a divorce and whatnot. We've gone from the 250. We just peaked below 200. I'm not coaching, but I'm also not making the money I was. So that's why we're doing the revamp, so we can kind of, get a little more systems in place so that I can continue not to coach, maybe do the beginners classes every few weeks.
Yeah.
But everything I'm seeing through the website where you're capturing leads, sending a series of email chains, I understand that's where it is for this constant contact.
Yeah.
My curiosity is we're at the point where we need to start putting all this into play and redesigning it, because we have the ability to go back up. So it sounds like everything's hitting. I'm just kind of curious to know, do you already have your 30-day, here's what has to happen every day, a template that's going, this is day 1, this is day 30, here's the things that you have to do. And I know you can't pull expectations, but going at the end of 30 days, we're expecting a lead a day, a lead every 2 days somewhere.
Yeah, no, I mean, pretty much what we would do is the first 21 days of the 30 would be every day there's going to be an exact mission. We're going to try to keep it to an hour, probably 5 days per week, and then have a couple catch-up days for you guys to go back and watch the recording if you didn't get everything done. And then the last of the 30 days will pretty much be you guys launching your campaigns and running them. You're probably going to see what I see from a typical campaign is anywhere from 100 to 200 leads. And the system's going to kind of go through those to kind of filter them out and find the ones that are ready to take action. Usually in a 2-week campaign, you can sign 15, 20, new members on average. Again, and that's probably average. If you do things perfectly, it can be more. If you slack, it's going to be less. You know what I mean? Definitely, definitely comes down to your guys' ability to implement the steps as well. You know what I mean? That's why I say like the gyms I want to take are the ones that are really ready to get after it, because it is work and it is implementing the steps. And as you know, just like with people in your gym, if you tell them exactly what to eat, you tell them exactly how many times a week to show up. If they do it at 80%, they're going to see, a significant lower return on their time invested, right? It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess my curiosity is like, we started this way back when just throwing a Facebook ad actually we opened up, Groupon built this place originally, and then that got bastardized.
Right.
And then, Facebook ads started doing it well, and that started dying. And then at some point I jumped on with Gym Launch just to see what was going on. And those things like the new you with Hackenbrook, like nobody stuck.
Yeah,
It was just like a turn and burn. And so we bailed on it. And South Florida is so, you do one thing that works, you see 100 of them. So everybody gets pretty sterile pretty quick.
Yeah, that's actually one thing. That's one thing. That's why I was doing this thing. Is I actually it's something I've identified as well, because we've actually invested in a lot of those programs ourselves. It's part of that $100,000 I've spent over the last few years is pretty much doing everything out there, and that's 100% one thing that's missing from the equation is how to convert these people that come in for these offers into ongoing. And we actually have that's going to be part of this thing is building out the systems to get them on continuation. And we're really, really good at that. That's one thing we're really, really good at. We probably retain probably 50 to 70% of the people. I mean, it changes over the time of the year. Definitely time of the year makes a difference. Like right now, it'll be almost everybody. We'll retain them. And there are ways to
right. It was just it was getting all these people, but there was no, there was no follow-up. Everybody just fell and then they disappeared, and then there was no retention. Like we started using Scipio to keep in touch just because people open up text messages.
Yeah,
but
that's part of what we'll train on this, man. I got a great. That's probably where more time and effort has gone into this thing to make it different, to make it better, or I shouldn't say better, but just totally different than what else is out there. Because that's definitely an issue right now that I'm hearing from a lot of gym owners. They run these, high volume lead campaigns, and then they're running it perpetually, and it never ends. And we actually with ours, we have to turn ours off. We have to turn ours off. Like we'll run it for 2 weeks, and then we have to wait like 2 months to run it again. For us, we spend that time in between getting those people to sign up. Plus, we run into capacity issues, so I can't keep running it perpetually because we keep people. So that's the difference. And like I said, we're not in an area. We're in a very congested area, middle of Phoenix. There's a lot of gyms. I don't know if it's as bad as Florida, but it's pretty bad. And I'm also in a part of town where the demographics aren't the best. We're not in like the nice neighborhood. We're kind of like in between the university and downtown, which was like, the average household income is like $35K. It's not great, but we are able to retain these people because it's the way we build value along the way, and it is built into these systems for sure. Does that answer your question there, Adam? Cool.
Sorry, I think I lost you. Yeah, we're down in South Florida. I mean, there's a lot of money here, so that's not money's never the issue.
Sure.
Our monthly, once we do it, is about $187 a month. So we're okay.
Yeah. Oh, no, that was just an example. I'm just an example of at our gym. We're doing it without that. So I have no doubt that with these systems, with having that you would definitely crush. So yeah, man, awesome. Okay, cool, Adam. I got a couple of questions I'm gonna answer real quick, but we can
thanks.
We can follow up afterwards, man. I can expand on this if you want afterwards.
You got it. Perfect.
Okay, cool. So Sarah says, how soon are you looking to start the 30 days? We're looking to start the 30 days. I like to have the group that I'm selecting to move forward by the end of the week, and us start next.
Hurst.
Yep. Hey, Adam, can you turn your mic off, man? Sorry.
He was.
Phoenix.
Yeah, he
went
was
with Alex. I'm sure.
Yeah, he was with Alex. Yeah.
Doing his own thing.
Hey, yo, Adam, turn off your mic.
Yeah, actually, I spoke with him in the beginning.
Okay,
you
cool.
want this one, right?
About Scipio.
Okay, guys. All right, so
there's two different things.
Hey, Adam, turn off your mic, brother.
That's with the stripe. I want the one with the stripe.
Okay, then that's fine. What do you have on there?
Well, that's the one I had.
Okay. No, which one? That's it, right? You have right there.
Okay, there we go. Okay, cool, guys. So Sarah's asking how soon are we looking to start the 30 days? At the end of this week, I'll have the 5 to 10 gyms. I need to really figure out my capacity. I want to make sure that the gyms I invest the time in, I can give everything to and be present for you guys 100%. Because for us, this is kind of like when you first started your gym and you brought in your early members. You really were able to devote a lot of time to them and they became the core of your business. And essentially that's what I'm trying to do here for you guys is kind of more or less build that foundation with your people. And if you guys don't stay on for some sort of continuation with me, then that's totally cool. It'd be more or less like building I guess what's the word I'm looking for? The base of reviews or whatever, reputation, I guess, if you will, that what we're doing does work and is different and unique. So, and then Sarah is also asking is understanding that it takes money to make money. What is our expected monthly spend? So that's something we're going to go over with depending on, we're going to kind of like with each gym owner, review what their needs are and see how much volume they need. Because with the system we have, we pretty much know the percentages of how many leads turn into shown appointments, to how many turn into sales, to how many turn into ongoing members, because we track all that. We have more data than anybody when it comes to that stuff. And there's some very, very good people out here doing this stuff, and we've kind of, and like I said, I've invested in a lot of their stuff. We've kind of taken it to another level because I see some things that have been missing. And that's definitely something we're going to do. So we can look and say, hey, Sarah, if we know that we want to get 20 new members per month every month in perpetuity, and we know that we lose 5 members per month on average churn, then we could say, here's what we need to spend because this is how much leads cost, this is how many of them turn into appointments, this is how many of them sell, this is how many of them stay. So it's definitely something we're gonna figure out. I would definitely set aside about 10% of your revenue for marketing budget. That's kind of like the golden rule. So if you're doing $20K a month right now, then I would, try to find a way to set aside $20K. If you're doing $10,000 a month, find a way to set aside $1,000 bucks. It's not a huge investment, and you're going to make money right away. And then the expectation would be the money that you make, will use that to scale going forward, so you don't have to keep dipping in your pocket. But you are going to, it does, like you said, Sarah, it does take money to make money. You can do some of this stuff organically. The problem is organic just doesn't keep up with the rate at which most gyms have churn. So if your goal is to grow and grow fast, it's definitely going to want to inject a little bit of cash into it. Kifa says, couldn't quite understand what she's asking. Mark says, I have to go coach, but thanks for the link. I applied. Hope to get started soon. Let's see. And then Rochelle.
Hey, well, it's Kifa. I'm
thank
sorry.
you.
I was typing too fast. My question was about logistics. For Beta Group, would we need anything additional to ClickFunnels? Of course, our website, and I also use UpLaunch.
Okay, cool.
To get all my.
I'd have to figure out if we can use UpLaunch, because I use a different stack of software than UpLaunch. My UpLaunch is good, but the only issue I found with it, because I've talked to Michael West, the guy who runs UpLaunch, and he tried to sell me on it for our gym. And the issue I found is it's limited. Like, they pretty much have their set way of delivering the information to the client. And it's better than what most gyms already have, but it's not as good and not as advanced as what we're building out. So that's the only downside I see to it. I use a different stack of software with this.
Okay.
But we can look into UpLaunch. That's why I'm only taking.
Well, and it depends on how long ago, because I know they've made a lot of changes. So it depends on the last time you probably talked to Mike about it.
Yeah, I think just last week. He kind of knows what I'm doing, so he's keeping close tabs on me. He's trying to get me to resell it for him as part of this whole thing, as like
Okay, cool.
So he's trying.
I got a lot of that, and I just wanted to make sure. So
yeah. So I'm not opposed to it. That's why I'm taking a smaller group with this, is because there's going to be variables like that I might have to look into that software. Ideally, though, when we roll it out, I'm going to give you guys a stack of software to go get. And we're going to build it out like that. And then as we come across things like, okay, I'm using UpLaunch instead of all this stuff, we can kind of veer off and have a more one-on-one conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's definitely what we'll have to do, I think. Ideally, though, we'd use this exact stack, because I think the more you get away from it, there's less things you can track and more variables that aren't in line with what we know has worked. So, but definitely something we can tackle as we get into it.
Okay, cool.
And then I think Rochelle was asking, let's see, how soon are you looking to build it out? Looking to build as soon as possible. Rochelle, we'll start next week. I'd like to start next Monday. Like I said, we meet for like an hour every morning on Pacific time. That's where we're at in Arizona. I think Rochelle is here in Arizona too. And then if you can't make those live trainings, then we would just post the recorded video in a membership portal you guys would have access to over that 30 days. Okay. And then we'll build that stuff all together, and we'll run the last week together without any implementation, just to see things run and make tweaks as we go. Because in the first week, we'll know right away what ads are working and what are not. And I can guide you guys through how to find those ads and scale the ones that are working and pull back on the ones that are not. That way you guys can kind of pour fuel on the fire and grow quickly. So that'll definitely be a big part of this. Let's see. Rochella also asked how to pay your salesperson, people, hourly commission, hourly plus commission. That's a loaded question because it really varies. We have a commission structure for like our admin girl helps out with sales. I do a lot of the sales still because I enjoy it. And it's also the highest value job in the business. Sales will be the last job that you give out. It'll be probably the one you're doing last before you completely step out and work on your business only. And I like it. I like doing the sales because it also keeps me on the tip of what people are thinking out there in the world. So, but I do have my admin girl help me out with sales because she likes it as well. So she'll do a couple of appointments a week, and I'll pay her a commission structure that's usually like her hourly plus a small, $30 to $50 commission, depending on, if she did the appointment setting or not. We'll incentivize the appointment setting as well. Like if she sets the appointments for me, and then I close them, she gets a piece of that as well. And it's set in a way to where like if you make more money, they make more money, and it's not taking from the pot. So it's definitely something we have built in, and I actually will give you guys during this training as well, during the betas, I'll give you our pay structures. Depending on your market, you may have to change it a little bit because, $20 an hour in Arizona is not the same as $20 an hour in California or New York City or Omaha, Nebraska. It's going to be different everywhere, but you guys can kind of scale that up or down based on what the dollar's worth in your area, and all that good stuff. So I think that's just about answers all the questions. Oh, Sarah says, what happens after the 30 days? That is a wonderful question, Sarah. So what I am hoping happens after the 30 days is this is a business, and I would like to find a way to use it to get some return on the value I'm putting out to you guys, because this beta group is something that will probably, after we have it built out, like essentially what I'm doing is we're building this system out together at the beta group, and I'm going to basically be recording all the training along the way. You guys are going to get it live, but the next group that comes in will get a recorded version, and they're probably going to pay anywhere between like $2,500 and $10,000 for the same program. But you guys are getting it for free as a beta group because a couple of reasons. One, I need to build that reputation, and two, I need to build out the systems and all that good stuff. Now, you guys that are in the beta group don't have to pay anything. I'm not asking you to pay for anything, but at the end of the beta group, there will be like a continuation offer. You wouldn't have to pay that $5 or $10 or $2,500. I'm talking about like maybe a small monthly fee. If you guys want to, it's completely optional. If you don't want to pay for anything, you don't have to. But if you do choose to stay in, and more than likely, if you have results with this thing, if you do the work and it does what it says what it does, which it will, more likely it'll be a no-brainer for you guys because you'll get the continued ongoing coaching, the consulting as you need it. You'll get weekly coaching calls, any updates to the system as things change, because marketing and Facebook ads are always changing. The tools are always updating, and we're going to update that stuff as we go to give you guys access to that thing, and that'd be part of the ongoing continuation program that we have. I think we're going to call it like the Gym Hackers group, or the Gym Hackers tribe, and you could join that afterwards if you want. But for right now with this beta group, I'm not trying to pitch you guys anything, but thank you for asking. That does kind of help give you guys a full picture of what we're trying to do, which is build value with you guys to at the end. Like I don't have to sell you guys anything. Ultimately, if you believe it's valuable, you'll want to stay. So that's it, guys. Any other questions before we go? Let's see. What do you? Rochelle is asking. What do you use? What do you mean, Rochelle? Did I answer that question? Oh, for your software. Okay. Well, there's a few things. I mean, for the software, there's a few things, and that's a part of when we start the beta group. That's what I'll give you pretty much a list of. I will give you links to that software. From those links, they are my affiliate links. I'm not trying to sell the software, but since I'm doing this for free, one way that I do get a small something is if you guys buy the software through my links. You don't have to. I'll give you the names of the software. You can get it on your own too. But when we start, I'll provide you that stuff if you guys want to. It's just a nice little bonus for doing the work on my end. So we'll give you guys that stuff, the software. I mean, we do use a few different things. And Rochelle, I can separately send you over some links if you're looking to get some of this stuff downloaded sooner. If you're looking to get for you, because I know you're eager to kind of get things in place. But I promise it will be worth it for us to get organized and do it all together. So is that it, guys? Cool. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate. Let's see. It looks like I would like to look at it and get comfortable. Okay, cool. And Rochelle, we're gonna do. Oh, thanks, Keith. Keith said great job, and thank you. Yeah, I was really nervous when I started this for you guys. I was up till like midnight last night making notes on that whole my whole spiel here, making sure I gave you guys a lot of value and things that you can use and things that would benefit your business and kind of ways to look at things that will shift your mindset. Because I think gym owners get too stuck in the dirt. You know what I mean? Like we get too stuck in the dirt. We're too worried about. We're too like deep in the internet trying to figure out like, oh, chatbots, this, that, and the other thing, or this magical thing, and we hear about it through the people and through the, you know, different groups of gym owners out there talking about this, that, or other thing. And in a way, it a lot of those groups become echo chambers, and that like someone says something and then 10 other people who are friends with that guy say, oh yeah, this, that, and the other thing. And it's pretty normal human behavior, but it's easy to get caught up in that and worry too much, spend too much time trying to figure those things out. Meanwhile, like you're missing out on the overall strategies and concepts that are going to change everything. So that's it, guys. Yeah, Rochelle, I'll reach out to you and get you some of those links so you guys can get stuff set up. Let's see. Oh yeah, Keith is a very Russell Brunson-esque. You talk fast like him too. That's so funny because actually this entire presentation is modeled after a lot of what he teaches. I'm actually in his 2 Comma Club X program, Russell Brunson's 2 Comma Club X program. I've committed to spend a lot of money to invest in that, and he's the one who's actually guiding me through a lot of this, a lot of how to put this together for you guys. So kind of in a way, you are working by working with me. You're working with Russell Brunson because there's not a lot I'm going to do over the next month that doesn't come by way of him. And in his 2 Comma Club X program, like we're getting another level of stuff that you can't even find on the internet that's going to pass through to you guys. In fact, some of the other big guys who do this in our space work with him too, and that's, you know, how they're able to perform the magic that they do. So I'm super, super excited. Thanks, Kifa. I'll take that as a huge compliment. Russell's like probably one of my biggest inspirations. I listen to his stuff daily. I was listening to him before I came out to talk to you guys because he's someone that I model and really, really, you know, work hard to model and be inspired by. So that's it, guys. Have a great job, guys, or have a great day, guys. I hope you got some good things out of that. I'm going to cut it off there. I will post the recording of this in the group so you guys can go back and take notes if you want. And then if, like I said, if you haven't applied to the beta group, go and do that. And I will be, you guys that do apply, I'm going to be sending you guys out another link this week to do the next step because I think I've got like 30 or 40 applications. I got to scrunch that down to like 5 or 10. And I do have to put another step in place to kind of make sure you're a good fit. So look out for that, okay? All right, guys. Have a good day. Bye.